Good morning, kids. How is everyone? I have a question for you. Do any of you have a scar? Do any of you have a scar? You can point to it. You don't have to. You have a scar somewhere? Do you have a scar somewhere? Hey, look who it is. Look who it is. Howdy, kids. Howdy, kids. Let me tell you what, Pastor Dave. Every time your sermon goes over 12 minutes, I get scarred. I have a big scar. Well, look, kids, we are glad that Cool Dan is with us today. And, Cool Dan, I have a question for you. You weren't here last week, so where were you? Well, Pastor Dave, I was back at home in West Virginia, Has-it-all, West Virginia. I had to have some surgery, and so I have a brand new scar. Well, now, Cool Dan, I am sorry that you had to have surgery, but do you have a cool scar since you are Cool Dan? Well, now, kids, I wouldn't call it a cool scar, but it is a different scar because it's in the shape of a piano. It's in the shape of a piano, Cool Dan. Yeah, it is. No, anyway, you see, I had to have my appendage taken out. Well, now wait a minute, Cool Dan. Your appendage, kids, do you know what an appendage is? Do you know what's an appendage? Well, you know what? You are right. An appendage is your arm or your leg. And I'm looking here, Cool Dan, you got one, you got two arms. Although this foot seems to turn the other way, which seems interesting to me. You got all of your appendages there, Cool Dan. Maybe you had your appendix taken out. Well, I hear you, Pastor Dave. But either way, I have a scar, and that scar looks like a piano. And it's really weird. Well, there, Cool Dan, we're all glad that you're okay. I will say that a scar that looks like a piano is just a little bit strange, but you know, kids, did you know that Jesus had scars? You know, we are in the period of Easter now. We just celebrated Easter not that long ago, where Jesus was in the tomb. He was crucified on the cross first, and then he was laid in the tomb, and he rose again, and he's alive with us now. And he had scars, not in the shape of pianos, but he had scars on his hands. He had scars on his feet, and those scars tells us a story about Jesus. Just like your scars tell a story. Well, now tell me there, Pastor Dave, I hear you about the scars, and I hear you about Jesus having a scar, but how can a scar tell a story? Well, a scar can tell a story when somebody asks you about your scar that you have, if you have a scar on your hands, or you have a scar on your eye, or you have a scar on your leg, you can tell the story to your friends about that scar. You could tell the story about how you got the scar. You can tell the story about what happened. You know, maybe you were riding your bike and you fell off your bike, or maybe you were jumping on a trampoline and you got hurt somehow, you fell off. You know, there are many ways that those scars tell a story. But we can, in telling the story about our scars, we can ask other people about their scars, and then we can be helpful to others just like Jesus was helpful to others. That's why Jesus got those scars, because he died on the cross and he was raised again and he came back so that we will have new life, but we can help others. So, when we think about Jesus, we need to think about his scars, because just like you and I have scars, Jesus had scars as well. Well, let me tell you, Pastor Dave, your sermons scar me all the time. And anytime a sermon goes over 12 minutes or a puppet show goes over 5 minutes, I'm scarred. Well, I'm sorry there, Cool Dan. I guess maybe we should go. But kids, what do we do before we end a puppet show? What do? We pray, right? Yeah. So why don't we pray? Let's fold our hands. Let's bow our heads. We're going to pray to God. Cool Dan's going to do the prayer for us. So, Cool Dan, here we go. Kids, you repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for giving us your scars. They help us have new life. And what do we say at the end of a prayer? We say, Amen. Thanks, kids. Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. You guys have a great day. Stay out of trouble and don't get any scars today, all right? Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.